Legendary actress Bette Davis's career spanned nearly 6 decades. The Hollywood icon's life on screen and off has inspired a one-woman show. Our Neil Rosen sat down with the show's creator and star.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Bette Davis, the iconic star of the silver screen, is often regarded as one of the greatest actresses of all time, having starred in such classic films as Jezebel, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and All About Eve, just to name a few.
Jerry, don't let's ask for the moon. We have the stars.
She won 2 Oscars and was nominated for many more.
Come on, Oscar. Let you and me get drunk.
She was even the subject of a very popular song, Bette Davis Eyes.
She's got Bette Davis eyes.
Now there's a sensational one-woman show that has evolved over a period of several years, written by and starring Jessica Sherr. It's called Bette Davis Ain't for Sissies, where she brings this legendary movie star to life.
I am larger than life, bigger than the big screen. I am an actress.
How did you come up with this? Where did this idea come from?
Well, what happened for me, Neil, is that I was walking down New York City. I would be stopped on the streets and someone would say, you know what, you look like a young Bette Davis. And I said, I do. And sure enough, I got Bette Davis eyes. And so it was the beginning of my interest and I love Bette. And I found that we look a lot alike.
How much research was involved in playing Bette Davis and writing this play?
So for me to research Bette, it took me about 2 years to really dive into the year I wanted to dive into. I was interested in 1939. When I was doing my research, I found that the 1939 Oscars actually leaked all the Oscar winners early. So the newspaper had leaked all the winners, and I thought that was so interesting. So as the playwright in me, I felt that was a great place to start my play. She knew she was going to lose to Gone with the Wind, and I felt as an actress, how would that feel as Bette to lose to Vivien Leigh?
Her star will be eclipsed by that British beauty, Vivien Leigh, who will take home the Oscar for Best Actress in Gone with the Wind.
So the similarities that I find between Bette and Jess, we're both fighters. We both are trailblazers. We both stand up and fight for what we believe in, and we both won't give up. I, much like Bette, am someone who, like, once I have an idea, I want to do it, and I want to put action plan to it. And I fell in love with this idea of this woman fighting Hollywood. She was not only a great actress, she also stood up for and fought against the male-dominated studio system. And that, for me, was really interesting. That's how I got into Bette. I found her personal fight and her fight in Hollywood as well. And then I sprinkled in all of her, her incredible career.
I am an actress, and I am going to own that screen.
We begin my play, we go all the way through her life, and most importantly, we see her fighting against Warner Brothers, and then we also see her personal life. We see she had 4 failed marriages, she had abortions, she had a lover, William Wyler, that didn't work out. She had so much more in her life that I now put into my play because audiences needed to see not just Bette the star, they need to see Bette who she really is as a real woman.
I'm an actress in her prime who can't get work. I used to fight for good roles, now I can't even fight for any of my age range.
I think Bette Davis, an actress, is the first woman, and almost in a sense, the first feminist in Hollywood, to truly stand up and fight against something that was very, like a system that wasn't working. Bette stood up and fought for what she believed in, and she did it vocally. I think audiences like that. They like to see someone fight.
I wasn't fighting for myself. I was fighting for every actor in Hollywood. The right to choose our work, to be treated fairly, that's what I was fighting for.
People tell you look like Bette Davis, and you do, and you do wear a wig, and you make yourself even more Bette Davis-like. But as an actor, you also had to get the voice down. Was that a challenge?
For my voice, I knew that Bette's voice is so iconic. I worked with a vocal coach for 2 years, and Robert Perillo really took me through the steps of finding Bette's voice, and we found Bette's voice is a different timbre than my voice. It's a little bit more curt than my voice is.
The great William Wyler. He lectured me about the importance of a grand exit.
Well, now, thank you, Neil, for this interview. I know the world will see me now because Bette Davis deserves to be seen.
For showtimes and dates, visit the website at BetteDavisAintForSissies.com. At the Triad Theater in Manhattan, for Arts in the City, I'm Neil Rosen.